back. You're watching Overdrive. It's time now for us to take your queries here on Auto Selector. Bert joins us as always. Hi Bert, our first question comes into us from Arjun Badlai. He's saying he would have loved to buy the Honda Jazz X, but since it's been phased out, he's looking for a car at the same price point that will also offer him similar features. His budget is about 7.5 lakh rupees. Is the Honda Civic a good option? Which Civic model should he get? And also, he isn't particularly interested in the Amaze and the City. So, what would you advise him to do?
Well, Arjun, I know the Jazz is a fantastic hatchback at that price point. It used to be the best hatchback you could ever buy. It's won several of our comparison tests. Very practical, very comfortable, fairly fuel efficient, and a good car to drive overall. What I can tell you, however, is, and if you are willing to wait for a fairly long time, actually, just about a year for that matter, come June or August 2014, we expect Honda will come out with the new Jazz and with both petrol and diesel options. It will be manufactured in India as well, so the car will be available at a fairly affordable price yet. So if you can wait that long, the Jazz is coming up your way. Now, if you can't and you are looking for a used Civic, well, there are it's a matter of finding the best deal for yourself over there. We can't really tell you which is the best Civic available at that kind of pricing because the market's very wide. There are a lot of choices available. You'll have to score the market to see what exactly is available at that price. I can't really tell you what is available at 7.5 lakh rupees. On the other hand, the other option for you, if you're going in for a new car and you want, this is going to be your first car, we'd suggest you also look at the Ford Fiesta. The previous generation, the Ford Fiesta Classic, well, that's a great looking car, fantastic driver's car, nice and comfortable interiors, great handling, great dynamics, reasonably fuel efficient as well, and well, it's good value for money at the moment. So we suggest you look at the Fiesta Classic. That's another good car to go in for, Arjun.
Okay, on to our next question. This one comes into us from Arnab from Bengal. He writes in saying he wants to buy himself a motorcycle. His priorities are a sporty look, comfortable seat for the rider, as well as pillion, good mileage and powerful engine. He's narrowed down his options to the Hero MotoCorp Karizma ZMR, the Yamaha R15 and the Hyundai CBR 150. He hasn't given us his price range, but of those three, which would you recommend?
Where rider and pillion comfort is concerned, the Hero Karizma ZMR is the best option. It is undoubtedly one of the most comfortable motorcycles to ride over long distances especially. Offers you great performance as well and reasonably good fuel efficiency. It's definitely much better over long distances compared to the R15 from Yamaha or the CBR 150R. However, as a second option, if you're not really looking for the ZMR, because I know it is a dated motorcycle at the moment, we suggest to go in for the CBR 150R. That is also fairly comfortable to ride over long distances, but not as much as the ZMR.
Our final question comes into us from Mira Dalakia. He wants some specific details about the Volkswagen Jetta Comfortline diesel. He wants to know what your thoughts are on the ride quality as well as the service quality. Also, is it a bad decision to choose the Jetta over the new Hyundai Elantra or the Toyota Corolla Altis? What would you suggest?
What the Jetta Comfortline brings to you is a lot more contemporary features, and that makes the ownership experience that much richer. Now, I've driven this car for about a year as a long-termer, and I was absolutely delighted with the car, especially the handling, the engine performance, the ride comfort, the space and the premiumness that you get inside the cabin. Well, they're all top-notch for this segment. Efficiency, well, I got about 9.5 kmpl on an average, but that's my driving style, which is a little more aggressive, a little faster than what the usual traffic flows at. But driven sedately, driven comfortably, I assume that car can definitely give you more than 10.5 kmpl in urban conditions. Comparing it to the Elantra, now I do believe the Elantra is a much nicer car in terms of ownership experience. One, because Hyundai definitely has a better service network than Volkswagen at the moment. It's much wider, so undoubtedly you will find a service station somewhere closer to you than compared to what Volkswagen can offer. On the other hand, that cabin also has a lot more space inside it. The Elantra is much more spacious. You get a lot of features, probably more than what the Jetta has to offer you, and it's not a bad car to drive either. I've got another Elantra on long term at the moment, and on an average I get about 13.5 kmpl from that diesel engine, and that is a tremendous amount of efficiency to get out of a premium sedan. So yes, if you do or rather are interested in a Hyundai product, the Elantra is the best sedan in that segment to go in for. But if you want a much richer driving experience, the Jetta is your best bet.
Okay, with that, it is time for us to wrap up Auto Selector. If you have questions, we have the answers. Send us your questions to helpdesk@overdrive.co.in. You can also tweet us or Facebook us. We'll get back to answer them on the show for you. On that note, it's time for us to wrap up all the news from the world of auto, starting with the big launch of the week.
Earlier this week, Mercedes launched the most hotly anticipated premium hatchback, the A-Class, in India. Starting at a price of 21.3 lakh rupees, the 2.2-litre diesel engine makes 110 PS of max power and 260 Nm of max torque, whereas the 180 Sport petrol engine model comes with a 1.6-litre engine that makes 122 PS of power and will cost you 22.73 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Designed to appeal to the young and affluent driving enthusiast, the seats are said to be inspired from F1 cars, and the upholstery is made up of a form of premium artificial leather. In terms of features, the A-Class boasts of an infotainment system that can read any music file format, gets a tire pressure loss warning system, acceleration skid control, 7 airbags as standard, and has a lot more features on offer. Worldwide, the new A-Class has already garnered more than 90,000 bookings since its global launch a couple of months ago. Tata Motors' fourth quarter earnings have indicated a disappointment on its domestic market front. Especially in terms of the passenger vehicle, the revenues have fallen 32% year-on-year. The company has found some respite in JLR, who helped boost consolidated earnings with revenues rising 10% to approximately 50,000 crore rupees year-on-year. Tata Motors Managing Director Carl Slim spoke to CNBC TV18 about Tata Motors' falling market share in the domestic market front and said he isn't expecting any relief in 2014 but is working on plugging production gaps even as Tata Motors increases synergy with JLR.
The biggest impact on the numbers is really what's happening in the industry, and therefore that's where the analysts and yourselves have been able to predict pretty much what our numbers would be. We're an M&HCV company, we have been for many years, and therefore our business has seen the same kind of cyclical behaviour on results as we've seen in the market. It's currently down 40% year on year, and hence that's been a huge impact for us as far as revenue and therefore profit.
While Tata Motors is coping with their disappointing fourth quarter performance, another SUV giant, Mahindra & Mahindra's earnings indicate the company has cruised along quite comfortably. Despite taking a beating in terms of sales of its bestsellers Scorpio and XUV 500, the SUV business has registered a growth of 33% over the year. Mahindra & Mahindra say they are working on reducing the impact of the SUV tax levied by the finance minister earlier this year and are also working on maintaining their market share. So you can expect refreshes but no new launches in the coming year. Last week, the Government of India approved the entry of quadricycles as a new segment in the Indian market, but the industry divide over this new segment of four-wheelers still continues. Carl Slim, MD Tata Motors, continues to take a stand against the government's decision to allow the quadricycle in the Indian market.
A new category in our industry, then time should be given for anybody that's in the industry. They should be given time to ensure that it's a level playing field and nobody is disadvantaged by any kind of knee-jerk changes to legislation.
Slim says products like the Tata Iris have been designed keeping in mind the existing crash test and emission norms, whereas they would have to redesign to keep it in sync with the quadricycle norms as and when they are drafted.
We've created our products and our portfolio in line with what India's crash or safety and environmental norms have been.
Mahindra & Mahindra on the other side is giving itself 3 years to enter this new segment with its compact passenger cab, the Geo. In an exclusive interview with CNBC TV18, Pawan Goenka said that the Geo will have to be reworked if it's brought down to India to qualify for the new quadricycle norms. Just like you adjust the seat in your car before you start driving, take out 5 minutes of your time to get the bike to fit you before you start riding. Adjust the lever, mirror and foot pegs or pedal positions to fit your physical size to avoid being uncomfortable.
Time for another break, but when we return, a first ride of the new Yamaha Ray Z.